Hi everybody, how are you today? Today's message is going to be a little different. I'm going to share a little bit of a story, and then there is a specific event that I want to tell you about that was the beginning of my healing process from lots of different things, including being born gay into a very, very hyper-religious family. So, shortly after I was outed from my family, and I don't mean just being outed as being gay, I mean literally outed from my family, outed from my home, outed from my friends, outed from my church, outed from the people who I believed were a part of my forever, in a lot of ways. And that is what happened to me when my family found out I was gay. And I was basically taken from a world that all revolved around the church and religion. And I was extremely naive in a lot of ways about the going on of the great big world around me. And I will cut to the chase of the story here. Shortly after we moved to Vancouver, my partner Scott and I was out for a walk on a Saturday afternoon, and I came across an event that, in my naivety, in my lack of really knowing what the world that I had stepped into was all about, I knew a lot about the world that I was kicked out of. But anyway, I stumbled across a gay pride parade. Big gay pride parade, Vancouver, big queer community, big celebration, big everything. And it's something that I didn't even know existed. And there was such conflict inside of me about people are celebrating what I have been taught since before birth was a thing that is based in shame, was the thing that would condemn my eternal soul, was the thing about myself that I should be hiding at all costs, the thing that made me less than the people around me. And there was a celebration, and I was quite intrigued. And, there was the usual kinds of parade kinds of stuff. If you've ever been to a pride parade, there's all kinds of goings on. There's all kinds of groups represented. There's political groups. There was individual social groups, the Dykes on Bikes, the Leathermen, the bear community. All the different things were part of this. Sports teams and different political associations. And then there was the police. And it shocked me to my core to see police marching in a pride parade. Not only gay and lesbian police, not only queer police, but supporters as well. Supporters from within the organization. And why that hit me so strangely is because I was always taught that basically I was so bad that I was illegal. And for a long time we were, and a lot of places we still are. So there's still some work to be done there. But that's not the group that I want to talk about. The group that came immediately following the police was something called PFLAG. And I had no idea what that was until the announcer for the parade, which I was standing close enough to as the parade was being filmed and all that sort of thing, said, "And here comes the amazing group from PFLAG, Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays." And I thought, okay, well, I must have misinterpreted that somehow. But as the group got closer to where I am, to see moms and dads, brothers and sisters, walking arm in arm with their queer children and supporting them and loving them and publicly lifting them up as worthy human beings, as members of families that, despite their differences, were every bit as included, were every bit as loved, were every bit as supported. And I literally could not believe that not only was there a group of people, but that individual parents, brothers and sisters were proudly marching beside their queer kids. And it shook me so much to my very core that I literally fell to my knees crying with joy and renewed hope. And it opened my mind to the possibility that who I was born as, or who I was created to be, or who I was just authentically was as a human being, was being recognized and validated by family and by community. And that really began my healing journey, to know that, okay, the world that I grew up in, with all of its problems and all of its beauty, I will be honest, there was a lot of that. That there were other perspectives, that there were other thoughts, that there were other ways of seeing the people around you, of seeing yourself, that I just, until that moment, I did not realize. And it was a life-changing moment for me. It was probably a life-saving moment for me. And I'm sure PFLAG has been that for millions of LGBTQ youth whose families are not there for them, or were not able to be there for them, or rejected them, or didn't understand them, or whose religion took over and dominated what should be a parent's responsibility to continue to love their child no matter what. And by no matter what, I don't mean that being queer is bad. I mean that no matter what, regardless of what an individual believes, that the love of that parent is just so essential. And it didn't how can I honestly say this? It did make me sad for myself that was not my experience with my family, but it also brought me such joy and such comfort, like I said, and blew my mind that there were situations and people who were in my situation who were loved and supported and lifted up, not because they were above anybody else, but because they needed to be in that moment. And that is really what pride is about. It is about giving people like me, as that young gay teenager, and millions upon millions upon millions of others who have lost hope and have lost their own sense of identity, and were given a chance to not only be celebrated, but more importantly, acknowledged and loved. And that is really the essence of what pride is. Like, it started as a protest, absolutely. And the way things are going, I'm sure that will probably still be continuing on for quite some time. But what it did for me personally is it let me know that I am loved just for who I am. Or it let me start to at least think about the possibility that I could be, that I am worthy of, that I'm deserving of love just the way I am. And so on this Pride Month, I really want to extend my gratitude and my love and my support to all of the queer community, and to say a big special thank you to PFLAG, people who I never even talked to, just seeing them visually embracing their children and their loved ones in a way that I had never witnessed before and that I didn't think was possible. I want to thank you for changing my life. I want to thank you for saving my life. And I want to thank you for continuing to be advocates for your children and your uncles and your brothers and your moms and your dads and your family members and the greater family of our community. What you do makes such a profound impact. So during this Pride Month, like I said, I really wanted to take this opportunity to thank an organization that moved me and moved my mind into the position where I could begin to start my healing journey. And I will be forever grateful. I will be forever moved, as you can tell by me sharing this story. It's a moment that is one of those pivotal moments in a person's life that you will never, ever forget. It's like a time capsule that was pivotal in shifting my mindset and my beliefs to being open to the possibility of love being the most powerful thing. So that's the message for today. I love you. I love you, PFLAG. Talk soon. Bye-bye.